So hello and welcome to this installment of the Hyperion Herbs product showcase. Basically what I'm going to do in this video is just share with you a little bit about what I think makes Gynostemma such an amazing and superb tonic herb, and really share with you why I consume it on a regular basis and why I think it's one of the best tonic herbs to start with, and also just one of the best general herbs to take on a regular basis for most people. It has such a broad spectrum of benefits, and it's really easy to use, and it's also extremely affordable, and it also tastes really good, which is probably why it's been given the nickname of miracle grass or magic grass, or basically the master adaptogen. And I created a video a few years ago called the most potent adaptogen on the planet, and a lot of people have tried to debate me on that and say, oh, this herb or that herb is better than Gynostemma. But what I meant by that title is specifically referring to the fact that Gynostemma has the most concentration of a certain chemical family called saponins of any plant thus far discovered. So an herb like ginseng or astragalus that are highly adaptogenic and regulatory for the body have usually around 30 of these saponins. And Gynostemma has been shown to have somewhere between 90 and 100 plus of these saponins, some of which are identical to those found in ginseng, which in ginseng they're called ginsenosides, and in Gynostemma they're called gipinosides. And basically the simple nature of this chemical in an extremely oversimplified way is that it's water and oil soluble. So it's able to plug in a lot of different places in the body and help to modulate and regulate many different functions within our body. And this is a relatively new herb on the marketplace, on the kind of herbal scene, if we want to call it that. Even though it was used traditionally for a very long time, it was just kind of relegated to the villages and the locales where it was found. And during the late 60s, they were doing research on trying to find things like stevia, meaning natural alternative sugar substitutes found from plants. And they discovered Gynostemma, because it has kind of a naturally sweet taste. Not overtly sweet like stevia, but it just has kind of a natural sweetness that's very pleasant. So they started studying it in the lab, taking it apart, sort of seeing what was going on. And they found out, whoa, there's actually a lot of good things happening here. And then through surveying the areas and the villages that were consuming it, finding out they called it miracle grass, finding out that these particular places had extremely low rates of cancer and disease, and many of the people there were commonly living, well into their 90s and 100s. And having just really good longevity, but also just good health, good quality of life. So I took these two things together and thought, wow, there's kind of really something going on here. And then as a result, Gynostemma has been slowly gaining traction. And I think it really is one of the lesser known tonic herbs, but something that really is just going to get bigger and bigger as time moves forward because of the reasons that I mentioned before. It does all these different things in the body, from being anti-stress, anti-inflammatory, having 82 to 100 plus different adaptogenic phytochemicals, having 8 compounds that are identical to ginseng, and basically being an extremely balancing herb that we can take on a regular basis. Even treated almost like as a food, like the people in these villages were doing, cooking in soups and basically cooking it with rice, cooking it with grain, and drinking it as a tea. And for me personally, I tend to drink it a few times a day. And definitely in the colder months, I really fancy having Gynostemma hot with meals. Just really helps digestion, really helps just overall just stress modulation, and really helping me to feel balanced and calm throughout the day. And there's actually one particular gipinoside that's been found in Gynostemma, which has been shown to counteract the effects of nuclear factor kappa B, which is believed and suspected to be at the root of inflammation. and cell death in a kind of complex scientific manner. But really what this is showing us is kind of a broad spectrum anti-inflammatory effect, and also one of the potential mechanisms that Gynostemma could have for being a really profound longevity tonic. But really, in my eyes, what the best thing that Gynostemma really has to offer, aside from being cheap, easy to use, and tasty, is that you can drink it anytime and it will just modulate and help you come back to a place of feeling more centered. So if you drink it in the morning, or you drink it before you're going to do something more strenuous, it can help you feel more energized. Yet you can also drink it at night before bed, or sometimes if you're having trouble sleeping, you can have a cup and it can be very soothing and just help your nervous system and your adrenals relax so you can go to sleep. And to me, that's really extremely valuable and an extremely important thing that really any herb can offer us. Because herbs are extremely intelligent, especially when we're talking about tonic herbs. They're of an extreme high level of intelligence, of sophistication, and can offer our body a lot of really helpful information. Because I'm not really a fan of extreme highs and lows or extreme hyper-concentrated nutraceutical, pharmaceutical things. More so a fan of things that can just gently help our body function more optimally within this normal range that it's trying to do. Because our body wants to be balanced, it wants to be healthy, and we just sometimes need to assist in the communication within the various systems in our body, and sometimes just a matter of reducing stress, reducing inflammation can really be the crux of the matter. So the Gynostemma that I have for sale on Hyperion Herbs, as you can see in the picture on the right here, comes loose leaf, and it's grown completely organically, and it's ready to use as is. And you can brew it basically just like you would any tea. I usually like to brew it around just under a boil, let it steep for 3 to 5 minutes, and strain the herb off, and then it's ready to drink that as is. And you can usually get 1 to 3 steepings out of the same leaf material, depending on how long you steep it, which if you're using a half teaspoon of raw herb, means you're probably going to get 200 to 300 cups of tea out of a single bag of Gynostemma from Hyperion Herbs. So if you're paying $25 for a bag, or you're buying more, so you're getting a bulk discount, but let's just say $25 a bag, and you're getting 200 or 300 cups of tea, that ends up being an extreme bargain, especially when you consider what it's doing for your body, from balancing and modulating stress and basically being an overall longevity tonic. So for me, these are the reasons why Gynostemma is one of my favorite herbs. And even if I didn't own Hyperion Herbs, even if I didn't start it, I would be consuming Gynostemma on a regular basis. And it's just an herb that I'm going to be taking for probably the rest of my life because of all the ridiculously great things that it does, and the fact that it's just so delicious and so balancing. And it's something which you can mix and match and blend with other herbs if you are into that sort of thing. So anyways, thanks for watching this video. If you want to learn more about Gynostemma or you'd like to purchase some, go to hyperionherbs.com, and hopefully this video has been helpful, and I will talk to you soon.